we were okay with it.
Yeah, I'm just confused.
Okay, let's get started.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I think we all took a look at the bids for the roof.
We did.
We did quite a bit of homework. The two low bids had basically nothing that we asked for. No qualifications, no abilities, no material confirmation. Are these on?
Yes.
Okay. No background, no experience, no scope of work, nothing. Then we had two that were totally out of our price range, 110 and 92,000. And then the $63,000 one was Precision Roofing Incorporated. It was an okay presentation, but they didn't give us a certificate of insurance. They didn't tell us any qualifications, experience, abilities, gave us no background, no training, no experience, and no references. So we're disqualified. Third, the very last one, which was a little above the one I just mentioned. Uzma Construction Group Incorporated out of Yonkers was $73,852. They had a complete packet. They gave us 6 references. We only asked for 3 to 5. But one reference was the same person, but a different business. And when I talked to you, 4 of them had gotten back to me and said that they were very good, competitive, on time, did a good job. And then I got an email from the last person that said they were terrific. They'd use them again. They've used them twice before. Both times they were on the mark, did everything they were supposed to do. So it looks like Uzma is.
Can I ask, why would companies go through a request for proposal, leave stuff out, and then come and watch the bids being opened?
I don't think they read the whole. I mean, it's very clear cut. Our bid was only 3 pages long, and we didn't ask for too much stuff.
I don't understand.
References are very important, I think. You know, experience is another one.
And they're agreeable to the, what's that thing we have to do with them?
Oh, they even gave us all the prevailing
Prevailing
wage
wage.
numbers and a
Yeah.
chart
Yeah, we
showing the
saw.
prevailing wage.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people don't,
Yeah, we were saying.
because it's immediate rejection.
Right.
We eliminated to you already was how they showed certificate licensing for Westchester and Yonkers.
Right.
License to work in Westchester and license to.
I don't
Do you
think,
think that matters? I mean,
well, I think they may have to get a
license?
permit to work in Dutchess County. I'm not sure, and I did not check yet with Joe, but that would be a pre-qualification if, but I don't think we have that.
Like a
because we've had-
contractor out here, like, I mean, do they have a license to work? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
I think they're required down there. I don't think it's required
Maybe
up
that
here.
was too much information that they didn't, wasn't necessary, but it was just a license to work in Westchester.
They showed us Yonkers, Westchester, somewhere else.
Now, let's say we choose these people. My question next would be, do we have to go before the planning board to get a permit to do the work on this building? Our building inspector,
Yes.
before, when we were building decks and stuff, we're gonna have to go through that process.
Yes, we do,
So the contractor will have to be part of that.
yes.
I believe that we're not required to do that. But
I'm asking,
we don't need a building permit. I know that.
We don't?
Nope.
before?
Well, our
Just a
previous
comment?
lawyer, Jeff Battistoni, I must have asked him 3 or 4 times, and he says, no, you don't give yourself a building permit. We may, because we're in the village, we may have to get a village building.
That might be the case. That might be the
Yeah,
case.
Because I know when we were building the
But
dock.
we have it in there that all permits are required.
Okay.
And they said they would supply all permits.
Maybe it's a village.
So I'll find that out and also find out the licensing.
Yeah.
But,
Well, the village building inspector could tell us.
any questions? Howard, do you have any questions?
Matt, I have a question later on when you present the full budget. if you don't
Yes,
mind.
yeah. So do you want a motion to
Well, motion, right, based on, and then contingent on what the.
Contingent.
So the motion is to
Yeah, so I'll
accept
make
that bid.
to accept Uzma Construction? I already checked with Lois. We have the money
Okay.
to do the job. And,
What's our timeline, do we know, based on
The
if we need a
November.
permit?
It was November 1st, right? that they-
originally, and then when we rebid it, I think we moved it to
Yeah,
end of
it
November.
was the end of November.
Yeah.
So, basically the permit process and everything else, I mean, it's a month as far as like they have to, so like they gotta start tomorrow to get that done.
Well, I would call
Yeah.
them tomorrow
Yes,
if we vote to
Yeah.
do it, so.
Okay,
Yeah, because of our.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
Contingent.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Discussion regarding the proposed purchase of the vehicle for town use. Yeah, this, I don't know if you
I
looked at it.
I read it.
Yeah.
I looked at it, I
Yeah.
looked at it. So basically, it's an emergency purchase. The other truck blew up. We looked all over and we have our rec director did some extensive homework and printed out anything that came close to the price and mileage and condition, and nothing was close. But she did print a bunch of stuff out, made some calls. So I think we did our best due diligence. It's a big savings for us to get a hold of this truck, so. And we need it desperately, especially with winter coming. So, somebody want to make the motion? I'll make the motion,
All the paperwork has been submitted
yes.
to us. It will be registered to the rec department,
Just
Town-
to the town of Washington.
Town
just to the town of Washington,
Yeah.
but it's allocated towards the rec department.
Recreation.
Or
No,
whatever it's called.
Parking, the
Parking
parking
pool.
pool equipment line.
right, there we go.
So did anybody drive it and test drive it? and all
No,
that?
Gary.
Gary did?
So Gary, we passed the roof bid. We're talking about the truck, so the only question they have is, did you examine this truck and look it over closely and everything?
Yeah.
And it's like brand new.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been sitting for a while, so underneath, the frame is perfect. There's a little rust around like the front axle, but it's like surface, it's not,
Okay.
it's got 8,000 miles on it.
What size engine is it?
It's
Whatever, Ford's 352 or something.
Okay. And it can be it's plowable.
It has a
oh, it has a plow with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, she mentioned to me a sander on the back, but I don't think we need a sander just for that little road up there in the parking lot.
I think if we
We
need,
can have our highway guys drop sand.
just run through and give it a quick salt or sand if we're having an event or something.
Yeah.
And if we're not having anything going on, you could just plow it in the snow and.
Yeah. And that's, we're gonna be looking at that blacktop up there anyway, so eventually it should be a nice road. And the parking lot, for sure. Eventually, hopefully, the parking lot's improved.
So here we have so I'll leave it to you, Mr. Cesare.
Turn it over back to you.
So do we need a motion to purchase
We would
this?
need a motion to purchase.
All right, I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Aye.
And funding will come out of,
Gary should abstain.
Fund balance.
Yeah, I know, I should.
Gary abstained.
Yes.
Oh, yes, okay, and you second, right?
Yeah. I don't.
I made the motion. You
I don't-
seconded it.
I second.
We all said yay.
Okay, and Gary.
Do you have the checklist?
Mhm.
Bob signed it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Copy of it first. Do you want to make a copy of it here?
So budget is next.
We're under the back cap.
Really?
Mhm.
How
Wow,
would you do that?
you work some magic, Lois?
I use some fund balance because we have to,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
which offset it quite a bit,
And this is including all the initial requests that were put through?
yes.
There were some pretty good ones in there, wasn't there?
This, a large shed up at the park and pool. Joe needs a new diesel tank, holding tank,
Yes,
whatever, with,
Right.
along with the software. And, windows in the back. So,
So even though we're under the cap, we can still go through and perhaps delay some things or negate some things. And that will help bring
Bring
it
it even
down.
lower.
But if we were comfortable with the current, some of that money maybe we can allocate to other projects that we know need to be looked at. The other thing was, I wasn't at the last meeting, for reading minutes and so on. I believe the village was present and asking for payment of the ambulance dollars. But then there was another request to front dollars moving forward. How do you can't do that because they're on a 6 months. We're on a calendar year. They would be asking us to front dollars that we actually have not even allocated through our tax process based on our,
You know, I
Next
didn't-
year's
I didn't
assessment
even
value.
think about that.
so we
Yeah.
can't do that.
So I know, back up a little bit. So what, so,
He wanted the money up front for the
Or-
current contract. The ambulance.
which,
right, yeah.
don't we normally give them half?
And we're gonna do that.
Half in February, half in March.
But looking for that other dollars moving forward.
The new contract.
He anticipates
Yeah.
a huge increase.
Right.
And wanted us to like appropriate from, what was it, June, July, August, September? The
The first
estimated,
Half of the.
the
yeah.
estimated bill.
But we can't do that because you can't really allocate on monies that you don't know if you have it or not because we haven't gotten into that 26 budget process.
Right.
So the answer to him is, I guess we'll allocate what we're allocating, but we can't prorate stuff to the future. I think he's looking at cash flow and a big hit. The only thing we can do is anticipate that we're going to get a big hit on the new contract and then allocate that into our assessed value and be able to pay that. But we can't pay ahead because we don't have the money.
Right.
Technically,
Supposedly, the contract going forward is gonna be like almost triple.
Yeah.
How are we
Right.
ever gonna do?
that's why the
that?
county has to.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh my
The county has to.
Everybody-
step in.
everybody's
goodness.
screaming.
Wow.
And then Susarito put in, if to buy new chase cars, new ambulance.
Yeah.
First responder cars or
Right.
something.
Right. She told us
Why
that.
why don't they offset the service, the ambulance service? I don't think we need chase cars.
But we're not the only community that's faced with this, so they're looking at a much broader picture on how to provide ambulance, high-end ambulance services to people in the county.
And if we're gonna be playing triple, shouldn't the ambulance service provide those?
I don't know.
Why did the county have to do it?
I don't know.
And why is it tripling? What?
Well, it's the private contractors that's contracting with these towns. And they know they're the only show in town, and they set their prices.
Yeah.
Well, there's two or three that will bid it.
Well, that's what they look at, those three bids, but
Yeah.
even the lowest bid is probably much more than what the village has been used to paying.
See, what happens is now, three that they used to bidding from, the current one that we have now has always been, the lowest bid.
Yeah.
And the current one is
That's
going to triple.
Yeah,
So,
escalate, yeah. The hospitals don't want to touch it. They don't want their own
I
ambulance.
don't know how they expect municipalities to cover that.
Right,
Well, the taxpayers are gonna have to revolt.
right.
If we were paying triple, would it be what Bobby was suggesting, maybe start to look at, take it back in-house locally and invest your dollars back into the local rather than trying to outsource it? I don't know, but that's a big hit.
Then you have a